Well, good morning, Leeds United fans. Back again. Not back with a rumour mill this morning, but talking about Leeds United, as we do every single blooming day. Certainly doing that. So, lovely day. A lot of you are asking where I lived the other day. I'm not going to tell you where I live, but it is on the suburbs of Manchester, towards Cheshire. So there you go. That's the hint you're going to get. What's going on in your world anyway? It's a lovely day today. Crisp, but cold. I'm getting supplies tonight. Having friends round for a spot of dinner, which will be nice. But listen, to more important things. I have a second channel, and I would just like to say a great big thank you to all of you guys. We are already on 1,000 subscribers. The channel has been live for 48 hours, so thank you so much. First video hitting 17,000 views is quite staggering, and anything feels like it's going to be a come down from that. So make sure you're checking out all the stuff over there. I've got a few good videos planned over there if you're into general football, not just Leeds United. So tomorrow, big game. It does feel like a big game for certain players, doesn't it? Obviously, Leeds going up against Harriet Town. 3-0 demolition job, really. Pre-season away, if you're calling Harrogate away, which is very bizarre. But it does feel like a certain opportunity for players. It does feel like Farke's frozen the opportunity away from Dowell when it comes to doing anything, which I think's a shame. I actually think it's pretty poor man management, if I'm honest. You know, just saying that Elan Melier will be the number one regardless, even after mistake after mistake. And 2 consecutive not decent seasons. I do have to address one thing, by the way, that he got given the Goalkeeper of the Year last season, which blew all of our minds. I remember it at the time. Blew all of our minds, because I don't know how, based on what, you know, based on what? Maybe it's just based on whatever Farke said, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, so I feel a bit sorry for Dowell, because I presume he's probably thinking, what on earth am I doing at Leeds United? I get he's 34 years of age, but he's definitely got more, you know, more to go. 34 really in the modern era is nothing for a goalkeeper. It's absolutely nothing. So yeah, it's a shame, because I was looking at him and I thought if he put in a good performance against Harrogate, you know, a couple of saves, I don't know, kept a clean sheet, looked good with his feet, I thought maybe there's an opportunity there, but Farke has completely kiboshed that, and which essentially means there is just one person competing with himself, which is probably the only position, I'd say, in the squad where that's the case. Potentially you could stretch at an argument for a number 10, but the goalkeeper, he's just competing with himself, which definitely isn't healthy in any working environment, but there you go. So what we do know as well is there is obviously opportunities and rotation for players like Schmidt, which I'm really excited to see. Look, I'm not going to completely judge Schmidt on one performance, one starting performance, I should say, away at Harrogate, but I think he'll be able to deal with it absolutely fine. If he'll put in a really good performance, that'll at least put him a little bit higher in the pecking order, which will be nice to see, because I would like to see more of Schmidt, you know. Once again on this channel, we sort of talk on what, you know, the opposition fans have said about their player. The Gallen supporters were very, very, very positive when it came to Schmidt. All of his statistics back up that he is actually a good defender, and we've seen, as I nearly drop on my arse there, we've seen a good technical level from him even in about the 4 minutes he's played at Leeds United. So he's going to be one who hopefully starts. If he doesn't start against Harrogate, might as well just bin him off to the 18s. There's literally no point in him being at Leeds United if he doesn't start tomorrow. So I'm excited to see Schmidt and see what technical level he's at, and kibosh all the rumours that he's not match fit, because he has been match fit for the best part of about 15 games. So yeah, that'll be nice to see. Another player, obviously, who I'm really excited to see, you know, is, well, a couple of them actually, is Charlie Crew, who in that midfield I would be starting, maybe alongside Josh Gilavoggi, which would be pretty cool to see. A full 90 from the big man would be nice as well. Could he play at centre-back? Could he play at central midfield? I don't think there's a big, you know, argument there. He can play it either quite efficiently, just showing and you know, consolidating the conversation we've had multiple times this week about Leeds United's depth and quality and depth as well. So yeah, really excited to see that. Charlie Crew against Harrogate, you feel that's a bit of an open goal for him to at least get some minutes in his legs. It's interested to see what Charlie can bring. Is it another midfield conundrum that he might throw at Daniel Farke's door? Who knows, because Charlie has got so much hype behind him, so much hype. So it would be really good to see him and once again, using that word, his technical level, but not just that, but his athleticism, his physicality, and how combative he is in that midfield zone as well, which I think is obviously huge compartments have been successful in the top 2-3 tiers of English football. So another one who I think has to have a good game, really, if I'm being brutally honest. It's Matteo, hopefully he'll be starting this one. And yeah, I hope we can just get a couple of goals. Get a couple of goals, or get a goal, the decisive goal. That'd be pretty cool. You don't want it to be as tight as a decisive goal in terms of maybe a 1-goal swing or whatever, but I think he just needs that goal now. And it's not because I'm not judging him off the back of that at all, in terms of just, him not having the plethora of goals, let's say, a Peru has. I personally have said this multiple times. I've said this to the very beginning of the season, of which I thought Leeds were playing a slightly different way, which aided Matteo and was aided by a certain Jorginho Rutter as well. I'm sort of looking at him and thinking, look, against Harrogate, we need to get you a couple of goals, because if you don't get a goal or two against Harrogate, the Joseph Out Brigade is going to be out in full force. So, yeah, look, a good performance, good link-up play, good level of football IQ, which I think we've seen a lot of this season from Matteo, but ultimately I think he needs a goal, and if he doesn't get a goal against Harrogate, of which I believe he did in pre-season, along with Valencia and I think Schalke and maybe Hanover in there as well. It's 3 or 4 goals, wasn't it, in pre-season? But yeah, I'm just hoping that he gets a goal. And Leeds have got some real... And it will emphasise as well the rotation that Daniel Farke has at his disposal. So obviously Dowell would have been the big one. Unfortunately, that it doesn't really mean anything now after Farke's kind of just nullified any competition in the goalkeeping department. That's kind of signed, sealed and delivered right now. So, but I am excited. I am excited to see the likes of Schmidt. As I've said, we sort of know what Carl Darlow's going to bring anyway. Just probably a level of consistency. Nothing outrageous, but a level of consistency which will be fresh between the sticks. That'll be good to see. But yeah, Schmidt is the big one for me. Weirdly, Charlie Crew. I've been interested to see what he's all about. And Gilavoggi as well, full 90 for him. But at the same time, it'll be interesting to see what we do centre-back, of course. Debo is another rotation option which Leeds United have, which a lot of us haven't really focused on. Debo, when we're putting Ampadu centre-back against Oxford at home, I found that quite interesting, because I would have actually gone Debo. Pre-season, Farke was talking about him being essentially one of the shining lights. We went over to obviously Germany, the tour out there, and he was excellent. He was excellent. It looks like Farke didn't want to let him go in pre-season, didn't want to loan him out, and wanted to stick around, keep him around. And these are the opportunities where you can foster for yourself. You can turn around essentially at the end of the season and say, well, Debo had a good performance against Harrogate. He's a bit of a prospect for future, for the future for Leeds United. And right now we just don't really know with him after Farke bigged him up in pre-season. So even in that Oxford game where you kind of knew they were not going to offer anything, I'd have started Debo and kept Ampadu in midfield. If you've got a centre-back who you're not willing to loan out, you don't want to let go, and you've been bigging him up, and his mentality as well. Don't forget what he was saying about Debo's mentality and improving him. You've got to throw him in. You've got to throw him in games like this. So I'm looking to that, and Leeds really should be. It should be home and hosed, within probably the first 30, 40 minutes against Harriet Town, with the greatest of respect, even with rotation. So what would you guys do? I'd probably go with a starting 11 of Darlow. Maybe on that right side, I'd go, would you go Bogle again? I'd probably go Bogle again. Centre-backs, if fit, if okay, if ready, I'd go Debo and potentially Verba. Then Schmidt, defensive pivot, Gilavoggi and potentially Charlie Crew. going forward a little bit as well. You've got to give Aronson a rest. I'd like to see one of the wingers in the 10. So I'd go Solomon in that number 10 role, see what he's all about there, and see how difficult it is for a winger to play in the number 10 role. Then on the left, I'd go Ramazani. I think he needs minutes. On the right side, I'd go Willian Yonto, genuinely just to build those minutes up once again, because he's not been getting consistent match minutes, and that's obviously what we need with this Leeds United side. And I go Matteo Joseph up top, and it's a frightening front four, but you've got rotation around the back as well, so we'll wait and see what happens. Let me know what you would go with, guys. Would you be changing it around? Who would you be going with? Give your justification in the comment section below. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.